Yo, I'm Jake, and my life went straight to hell in one hot second. Picture this. It's March 2024, a muggy night in Chicago. I roll up to my apartment in Pilsen after a brutal day at the warehouse, dreaming of crashing on the couch with a cold brew. But the second I push open the door, everything crashes down. There's Jessica, my wife of 7 years, tangled up with some dude on our bed. Not just any guy. This dude's got tats all over, a chunky gold chain, and that vibe like he owns the block. I freeze, heart pounding out of my chest. I want to yell, but before I can even blink, he locks eyes with me and pulls a gun. "Shut it and sit down, bro," he says, cool as ice. I'm 38, just a regular guy hustling to pay the bills. Jessica's 35, drop-dead gorgeous. Blonde waves, killer smile, the kind of chick you'd fight for. We met at a dive bar, hit it off, built a life. Thought we were tight. She'd been weird lately. Late nights, hushed calls, saying she was hanging with friends. I bought it, man. But this wasn't a fling. The guy was Tony the Bull Russo, a mob boss who runs Chicago like his personal playground. Then it got worse. For more goons barge in tatted up, chain-swinging thugs with that same bad news energy. They duct tape me to a chair, and what happens next burns into my brain forever. Jessica's screaming my name, but not out of guilt. Pure panic. Turns out she didn't know Tony was a kingpin when she met him at some upscale joint months back. Thought he was just a rich player, or so she cried. But I saw through it. This wasn't love, it was a power trip, and I was collateral damage. Tony grins, leans back, and his crew steps up. They take turns with her. Slow, loud, messy. Right in front of me. The finale? They leave her gasping. A smug look on her face as it ends with a mess at her mouth. No details needed. It was a gut punch. A humiliation meant to break us both. I'm shaking. Not with tears, but with a rage that could light the city on fire. They laugh, cracking beers like it's a party, while I'm taped up, helpless. Tony finally cuts me loose, slaps my back like we're buddies, and says, "Forget this, or you're done." They bounce, leaving Jessica curled up, muttering, "I'm sorry," like it means jack. I don't buy it. That night, alone in the wreckage, I decide, I'm not taking this lying down. I'm gonna flip their world upside down, even if it kills me. Days later, I'm digging. Tony's got enemies. Rival crews, burned partners, guys who'd pay to see him crash. I've got an edge. I saw him at his rawest, know how he rolls. I hit up Ray, an ex-partner Tony screwed over, with a text. "I can nail the bull." Ray bites. "Give me something good. I'll handle the rest." It's dicey, but I'm in. Problem is Jessica. She's still around, playing innocent. Do I drag her into this revenge, or cut her out? I fake forgiveness, tell her we'll start over. She buys it, but I'm just keeping her close for the plan. One night, I lure Tony back with a fake tip about a rival stash. He shows with his boys, cocky as ever. Ray's crew waits outside. When it all blows up, shouts, chaos, payback. I find a note in Tony's pocket. Jessica wasn't trapped. She'd been feeding him intel on me for months. My forgiveness was a bust. And now I'm alone, wondering what's next. This is just the start, folks. My wife screwed me over with a mob boss, and I'm hitting back hard. Stick around, next time I'll spill how deep this mess goes and what Jessica's really hiding. Was she a pawn or a player? What would you do? Tell me below. It's been a week since I walked in on Jessica with Tony, the Bull Russo, and his crew turned my bedroom into their playground. That image, her tangled up with him, then his goons taking turns, ending with that smug mess on her face, won't leave my head. I'm crashing at a buddy's place in Logan Square, trying to shake the stench of betrayal, but it stuck to me like cheap cologne. My $200,000 crypto stash? Gone, siphoned off that same night. Jessica had my seed phrase, and now I'm broke, pissed, and plotting. I hit up my tech guy, Mikey, to crack the blockchain trail. He's a nerd with a laptop and too much coffee, but he's gold. He digs in and finds my cash bouncing through a mixer. Mob trick to ghost the funds. But Tony slipped up. $20,000 pops up in a sketchy Coinbase, account linked to a dive bar in Wicker Park. I roll over there that night, grungy joint, neon buzzing, the kind of spot where deals go down. Bartender. Some kid with a lip ring. Knows Tony? Yeah, he's here Fridays, flashing cash with a hot blonde. That's Jessica. Living it up on my dime while I'm eating ramen. I tail her next day, keeping it low-key. She's holed up in our apartment, acting like nothing's wrong. I watch from across the street. She leaves with a purse stuffed fat, heads to this shady warehouse in Humboldt Park. I sneak closer. Inside, it's a freaky scene, Tony preaching some garbage about loyalty to the family, Jessica nodding like a damn disciple. His crew's there, counting stacks of cash and phones. I spot my old laptop on a table, my crypto keys scribbled on a napkin next to it. My blood boils. I try creeping in for a grab, but one of Tony's meatheads spots me. Who's this clown? He barks. I shove him, yelling, that's my wife. They toss me out, but not before Jessica's eyes lock on mine, cold, empty, no regrets. That night, I'm scrolling her cloned phone. Text from Tony, day of the mess, keep him quiet, babe. We're set. Her reply, he's clueless. More coming. My jaw drops, she's not just screwing me over with him, she's scouting other suckers. Another chat with some chick, Amy, my husband's asking questions. Jessica, play it cool, Tony needs the cash. She's a freaking recruiter, luring wives into the scam while Tony's gang cleans out their men. 7 years together, barbecues, late-night talks, promises, and she's treating me like a mark. I'm done playing victim. I call Ray, Tony's old partner who got burned in a deal gone south. I've got dirt on the bull, I tell him. Ray's a wiry dude with a chip on his shoulder, he hates Tony's guts. Spill it and I'll bring the heat, he says. We brainstorm, Tony's crew thrives on cash and fear, so we'll hit both. Mikey's already sniffing their accounts, says he can reroute funds if I get him closer. My plan's taking shape, but Jessica's the wild card. She's still in my orbit, thinking I'm too wrecked to fight back. I catch her at the apartment next night, alone. She's sipping wine, all innocent, like we're still a team. Jake, can we talk? She whines. I bite my tongue, play along, sure, babe. She rambles about fixing us, but I'm clocking her purse, same one from the warehouse. While she's in the bathroom, I snag it. Inside? A burner phone and a list, names, dates, dollar amounts. Mine's there, Jake, $200,000, done. I snap pics, put it back before she's out. She's not just Tony's toy, she's his ledger, and I'm about to flip the script. This is getting wild, y'all. Jessica didn't just cheat, she sold me out to a mob boss who turned her into his plaything, one goon at a time. My revenge is cooking, and it's gonna burn them all. Next time, I'll dig into how far the scam runs and what Jessica's hiding behind that fake smile. Was she forced into this, or is she all in? What would you do? Tell me below. 2 weeks after catching Jessica with Tony, the Bull, Russo, and his crew turning my life into a nightmare, I'm still reeling. That scene, her with him, then his goons lining up, ending with that messed up finale at her mouth, keeps playing on loop. I'm holed up at Mikey's, barely sleeping, digging through her burner phone pics I snapped. My $200,000 in crypto's long gone, funneled into Tony's black hole, and Jessica's out there acting like she didn't nuke our marriage. But I'm not just stewing, I'm building a bomb to blow this all up. Mikey cracks more of the blockchain mess. My cash hit a mixer, but he traces a chunk $30K popping up at a shady ATM in Little Village. I head there, scoping it out. It's a corner joint, buzzing with sketchy types. Cashier remembers Tony, big guy, tats, rolls in with a blonde every Thursday, loaded. That's my wife, cashing out my money like it's her side hustle. I tail her again, she's back at that Humboldt Park warehouse, Tony's little mob church. I sneak close, peering through a busted window. She's handing him a laptop, mine, and he's barking orders while his boys count stacks. My name's on a list pinned to the wall, Jake, $200,000 cleared. I nearly lose it right there. Inside, it's a circus, Tony's preaching about family loyalty, Jessica nodding like she's his damn lieutenant. His crew's laughing, passing around beers. I catch a glimpse of her smirking as one goon slaps her back like she's one of them. My stomach churns, she's not some trapped housewife, she's in deep. I try slipping closer, but a thug spots me. Who's this punk? He growls, grabbing my collar. I swing, yelling, that's my chick. He decks me and they toss me out like trash. Jessica just stares, ice cold, not a flicker of guilt. Back at Mikey's, I'm pacing, scrolling her clone texts. One from Tony, night of the betrayal, he's handled. Next target. Her reply, got one lined up. My jaw drops, she's not just screwing me, she's a freaking recruiter. Another text to some gal, Sarah, my man's asking too much. Jessica, keep him chill, Tony's got plans. She's roping in other wives feeding their husbands to this meat grinder. 7 years road trips, late-night pizza, I love yous, and she's trading me for a mob paycheck. I link up with Ray again, Tony's ex-partner with a grudge. We meet at a dive in West Town, sticky floors, stale beer vibe. This chick's running the show, I tell him, showing the pics. Ray's eyes narrow, she's the key, man. We hit her, Tony bleeds. Mikey's already got a hook into their accounts, says he can siphon cash if I get him a clean shot. My plan's gelling, drain their funds, expose their dirt. But Jessica's the snag, she's still playing me, thinking I'm too busted to bite back. That night, I crash at the apartment while she's out. She rolls in late, tipsy, acting sweet. Jake, let's fix this, she purrs, hand on my arm. I fake a smile, nodding, but I'm clocking her moves. She flops on the couch, purse spilling open, burner phone, cash, and that list again. I swipe it while she's passed out. More names, Tom, $150,000, next. Mike, $300,000, pending. My blood's pumping, she's a damn spider, spinning this web. I snap pics, slip it back, and slip out before she stirs. She's not just Tony's toy, she's his playbook, and I'm rewriting the ending. This is heating up, y'all. Jessica didn't just cheat, she handed me to a mob boss who let his crew run a train on her, capping it with that sick finale. My revenge is locked and loaded, ready to torch their world. Next time, I'll dive into how big the scam gets and what Jessica's burying under her lies. Is she a pawn or the queen? What would you do? Tell me below. 3 weeks after Jessica ripped my life apart with Tony, the Bull, Russo, and his crew, I'm neck deep in this mess. That night, her with him, then his goons taking turns, ending with that nasty finale at her mouth, is a scar I can't unsee. I'm crashing at Mikey's, my $200,000 crypto stash a ghost, and every lead I chase just digs the knife deeper. Jessica's out there, living like she didn't torch 7 years of us, but I've got her burner phone pics and a plan that's starting to click. Mikey's tearing through their blockchain trail like a bloodhound. My cash is scattered, but he pins $50,000 to a shady bar in Bucktown, upscale spot, not Tony's usual dive. I roll up that night, blending in with the hipster crowd. Barista chick knows him, big dude, tats, shows up with a blonde, throwing stacks. That's Jessica, sipping cocktails on my dime. I tail her next day, she's hitting that Humboldt Park warehouse again. I creep close, peeking through a grimy window. Tony's barking orders, Jessica's handing him a stack of phones, my old one included. His boys are counting cash, laughing like it's a party. My name's scratched off their list, replaced with Tom, $150,000, in progress. I'm yesterday's news and she's on to the next sucker. Inside, Tony's playing kingpin, ranting about keeping the family tight. Jessica's right there, smirking like she's his right hand. One goon slaps her shoulder, another cracks a beer, same vibe as that night they humiliated me. My gut twists, she's not just in, she's thriving. I try sneaking closer, but a thug clocks me. Who's this loser? He snarls, grabbing my jacket. I swing, yelling, she's my wife. He lands a punch and they chuck me out. Jessica's eyes meet mine, pure ice, like I'm a stranger she's done with. Back at Mikey's, I'm pacing, digging through her texts. One from Tony, post-betrayal, next one's ripe. Work it. Jessica, he's hooked already. My head spins, she's a pro, reeling in marks for Tony's crew to bleed dry. Another chat with a gal, Lisa, my guy's getting nosy. Jessica, chill him out, Tony's counting on it. She's running a playbook, wives conning husbands, feeding Tony's machine. Our life, bar hops, movie nights, forever, was a front. I'm shaking, not with hurt, but with a fire to burn them down. I sync up with Ray at a West Side diner, greasy spoon, flickering lights. She's the glue, man, I say, sliding him the pics. Ray's a lean dude with a mean stare, we break her, Tony's screwed. Mikey's got a line into their accounts, says he can siphon funds with one clean hit. My plan's sharpening, drain their cash, leak their dirt. But Jessica's still in my orbit, playing the poor me card. I've got her thinking I'm a broken mess, perfect cover to strike. Next night, I'm at the apartment when she rolls in, all dolled up. Jake, can we start over? She purrs, brushing my arm. I nod, faking it hard, but I'm watching her purse, same one from the warehouse. She crashes on the couch, out cold from booze. I snag it, burner phone, cash, that list. New entry, Mike, $300,000, locked. My pulse races, she's a damn spider, spinning this web wider. I snap pics, slip it back, and bounce before she stirs. She's not just Tony's sidekick, she's his MVP, and I'm flipping the game. This is getting crazier, y'all. Jessica didn't just step out, she handed me to a mob boss who let his crew run through her, capping it with that messed up finish. My revenge is primed, ready to torch their empire. Next time, I'll spill how far the scam stretches and what Jessica's burying under her fake tears. Is she trapped or loving it? What would you do? Tell me below. A month after Jessica flipped my world upside down with Tony, the bull, Russo, and his crew, I'm running on fumes and fury. That night, her with him, then his goons taking turns wrapping it up with that smug mess at her mouth haunts me like a bad flick. I'm still at Mikey's, my $200,000 crypto stash, a memory piecing together her double life from that burner phone list. Jessica's out there, playing innocent, but I've got enough dirt to bury her and Tony 10 feet deep. My plan's locked, and it's about to blow wide open. Mikey's hacking their crypto trail like a beast. My cash is dust, but he nails $100,000 tied to a flashy joint in River North, Tony's new haunt. I scope it out, sleek bar, pulsing lights, way above his usual dive. Waitress IDs him, big guy, gold chain, rolls in with a blonde, dropping stacks. That's Jessica, living large while I'm scraping by. I tail her again, she's back at the Humboldt Park warehouse. I sneak up, peering through a cracked door. Tony's counting cash, Jessica's sorting phones, my old one's there, got it. His boys are joking, passing smokes, and my name's off their list, swapped for Mike, $300,000 in play. I'm old news and she's fishing for fresh meat. Inside, Tony's laying down his mob gospel, family first, always. Jessica's perched beside him, grinning like she's his partner in crime. One goon hands her a beer, another nudges her, same crew that ran through her that night. My stomach flips, she's not just along for the ride, she's thriving in this filth. I edge closer, but a thug clocks me. What's this clown doing? He snaps, grabbing my shirt. I swing, barking, she's my wife. He clocks me and they boot me out. Jessica's stare cuts through, blank, like I'm a ghost, she's over. Back at Mikey's, I'm tearing through her texts. One from Tony, days ago, Mike's ripe. Close it. Jessica, he's in the bag. My head spinning, she's a pro, hooking marks for Tony's grinder. Another chat with a chick, Tara, my guy's sniffing around. Jessica, cool him off, Tony's waiting. She's a damn puppet master, turning wives into bait. Our life, beach trips, late laughs, promises, was a sham. I'm shaking, ready to light this whole thing up. I hit Ray up at a dive in South Loop, dingy spot, stale fries vibe. She's the linchpin, I say, tossing him the pics. Ray's a gaunt dude with a killer glare, we snap her, Tony's toast. Mikey's got their accounts on lock, says he can drain M dry with one move. My plan's crystal, bleed their cash, air their laundry. Jessica's still in my crosshairs, thinking I'm a wrecked fool. I've got her pegged, time to tighten the noose. Next night, I'm at the apartment when she stumbles in, tipsy and fake sweet. Jake, let's fix US, she coos, brushing my chest. I nod, playing dumb, but I'm watching her purse, same one from the warehouse. She flops out, booze knocking her cold. I grab it, burner phone, cash, that list. New mark, Dan, $250,000, next. My pulse jacks, she's a spider, weaving wider. Then I find a note tucked inside, Tony, I'm out after Dan. Too hot. My jaw drops, she's planning to ditch, but not before one last score. I snap pics, slip it back, and bounce. She's not just Tony's ace, she's ready to bolt, and I'm flipping the switch. This is nuts, y'all. Jessica didn't just cheat, she fed me to a mob boss who let his crew take her, one by one, ending with that sick finish. My revenge is cocked and ready to blast their whole operation. Next time, I'll unload how the scam blows up and what Jessica's hiding behind her crocodile tears. Is she bailing 'cause she's scared, or just greedy? What would you do? Tell me below. 6 weeks after Jessica turned my life into a dumpster fire with Tony, the bull, Russo, and his crew, I'm standing on the edge of payback. That night, her with him, then his goons running through her, capping it with that messed up finish at her mouth, still burns in my skull. I'm at Mikey's, my $200,000 crypto stash, a faded memory, clutching that note from her purse. Tony, I'm out after Dan. She's ready to bounce, but I've got her burner pics, their scam list, and a plan ready to blow the sky high. It's go time. Friday night, Mikey pulls the trigger. We drain their accounts, $3 million in crypto, snatched from Tony's mob wallet, funneled to a dummy fund, then dumped into a victim's charity with a tag, courtesy of the bull. But that's just the warm-up. I leaked the hotel footage Jessica and Tony, then his crew, caught mid-act to a dark web drop. By morning, it's all over X with her texts, Jake's clueless. Next one's ripe. Hashtag bullscam explodes, people losing it, mob wife runs wild. Tony's crew scrambles, but the damage is done. I hit the Humboldt Park warehouse that night, needing to see it crash. Chaos is already king, thugs yelling, Tony barking orders as phones blow up with the leak. Jessica's there, pale, scrolling her screen. Someone blasts the footage on a laptop, her gasps fill the room. The crew flips, one guy chucks a bottle at Tony, another shoves Jessica, screaming, "You set us up." She bolts for me, Jake, you jerk. She shrieks. I snap back, you burned me first. She swings, I dodge, almost grab a crowbar from the floor, but hold off. This ain't about fists, it's about fallout. Cops swarm in, those warehouse pics I sent anonymously tipped M off. Cash, phones, all seized. Tony tries booking it out back, but they nab him, his beat-up Chevy won't start. Jessica's left in the mess, sobbing as the crew turns on her, yelling snitch. They cuff her too, her prints are all over the laptop transfers. My $200K is gone for good, but watching them crumble? Worth every penny. The news hits fast, mob boss and wife bust. And Jessica's family calls me, her mom bawling, how we miss this? I've got nothing to say. Next day, I'm piecing it together. That note, I'm out after Dan, was her exit plan, but a text from Tony, dug up later, seals it. You started this, you stay. She was in from the jump, 7 years a lie. She played me, fed me to Tony's crew for that night of shame, all for a cut she never got. I'm wrecked, our life, our laughs gone. Revenge hit hard, but I'm hollow. Could I have stopped her sooner? Those friend hangouts are red flags I ignored. Should I have walked away instead of torching them? Now I'm at a crossroads. Tony's locked up, Jessica's facing years, fraud, conspiracy, the works. The crew's toast, their scam busted wide open. But me? I've got no cash, no home, just ghosts of what was. Part of me wonders if she'd beg forgiveness, would I even listen? That night with Tony's boys broke me, but her selling me out cut deeper. Ray calls, says, you did good, man. Disappear before they regroup. I grab a bag, the list, and bounce. Chicago's too hot now. I'm staring at a Greyhound ticket to nowhere, that note in my pocket, asking myself what's next. This is the endgame, y'all. Jessica didn't just cheat, she threw me to a mob boss who let his crew run her raw, ending with that sick twist. My revenge smashed their world, but I'm still standing in the rubble. Was she a victim who snapped, or a snake from day one? Should I have burned it all down, or just walked away? What would you do? Forgive her, chase the rest of the list, or start fresh? Tell me below. Thank you very much for listening to this story to the end. I hope you liked. We work for you, looking for and telling you the most effective stories about women's betrayal, shocking intrigue, interweaving the plot, and unexpected reactions of angry men. Save us, put likes, write comments, and, of course, subscribe to the channel to not miss any story.